Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Ninja Saltman, and today I'm going to be talking about this. It's the fourth time I'm making this video. First one, I used pens, but I tied them up with the socks so they were not very visible. Second time, I used the sticks, but I also tied them with socks so they keep wiggling. Third time, everything was going great, but I got a phone call. So this is the fourth time. I'm not going to talk about a wooden staff with wooden cross guards. I'm going to talk about a two-bladed sword. And why some people say that because it's historical, because it's not historical, it's not effective. By the way, this time I held it with tape that I found. What else? Okay, first argument that says it's not effective. They say that the blades were too short, or the space between was too short. As you can see, it's not. I can comfortably put my hands right there. I could put 3 hands if I wanted to. I can do that. The blades are not short either. They're pretty long. They're as long as my arm. I put the cross guards for 2 reasons. 1, to demonstrate that they don't get in the way, and 2, to show the edge alignment. Now they're not very well aligned. That's because this area here is thinner than this area here. So no matter how I tie it up, it's not gonna, yeah. Anyway, what else? Point of balance is right there. It should be over here. What can you do? This one, this cross guard, the one in front, it barely gets in the way. I will have to do this, which is pretty uncomfortable, and I won't have the need to do. And even then, I could do it like this. So. No. But this one would get in the way. If I hold it like this, and more or less, but if I hold it like this, then yes, because it's on this side. I'm holding it this way to show that if used correctly, it does not get on the way. To another word about it being too short, either the blade or the handle, this is not all that long itself. I am 5'7", 5'8". I'm almost 5'8", should I say. And if I stand on my tips, I can reach that. So what else? Another argument of why this wouldn't be effective is that people hurt themselves with it. However, it's a lot easier to hurt yourself with nunchucks, and even with normal swords people hurt themselves. If you know how to use a weapon, then you don't hurt yourself with it. I'm not an expert with this. In fact, I've never even taken Hema or Kendo or Kenjutsu or any form of martial art with arms or with weapons. So this is going to be my representation of a normal sword, and I'm just going to be copying what I've seen, talking about what I've heard on videos. I'll make another video about flashy moves later, but right now let's get to it. With a normal sword, there's so many attacks you can do. Cuts. Hema would be like this, I guess. And in thrust. And Kendo or Kenjutsu would be like this, I guess. And also the thrusts. And there's the upward cut, which in HEMA, I guess, could be like this. And in Kenjutsu, I guess, it would be like that. Because the edge would be here. So you turn it around, so the edge is in front, and then you lift it. Now, the question, can we do those same attacks with this? Cross guard on this side, hand on this side. Let's see. We can do side cuts, diagonal cuts, low cuts, vertical cuts, only like this. And then diagonal cuts, horizontal cuts, low cuts. Alright, so there, as we can see, the cross guard does get in the way a little bit. But if you do it like this, then it doesn't. Either way, who would do that? Or you could do it like this. Now either way, it gets in the way. Who would do that? Anyway, but it can still thrust, and a long thrust. And in fact, in this mode, you can use it as a spear. So it can do almost all the same cuts as that, -1. What else can it do? Besides that, it can do that cut. Oh, that's right, I forgot. It can also do that cut. And if it were HEMA, that cut. So, that cut. All cuts -1. It can also do this cut. It can also do this cut. And no, it's not the same as this cut. Because this cut, they're holding it with this hand this way. And that the blade is on this side of the hand. Well, on this side, it's in the contrary side of the hand. It's better for bringing it back. Or a quick cut. It's like having a back grip and a front grip at the same time. Front grip and a back grip at the same time. But yeah, so that is all the normal cuts -1, but has 1, 2 extra. And yes, can still stab. Oh, plus long thrust, that would be 3. So it's about just as effective in attacks. What about defense? With this, you can block this way. If somebody thrusts at your face, what if they thrust at your body? You block this way. What else? If they thrust, if they try to cut your leg, you can block like that. If they at the side like that, at diagonal like that, or like that, vertical like that, or you can parry, and the other side, down, 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 or down, and either or, which actually would be preferable this side, because if you do it this way, there's a chance that the blade will pass below before you block it. But if you do it this way, that doesn't happen. Now, can we do all the parries and blocks with this one? Let's see. Parry to the face. As you see, it doesn't get in the way. Parry to the body. And even though I gotta be careful with the ceiling and everything is behind me, I can still do it pretty well. Block the knee, block the side, block diagonal, block vertical, block diagonal, block horizontal, and yes, you can do it like this too, and low. I've done all the parries and the blocks. Oh, block up, parry. You can also parry. I've done all the blocks with this that I did with that. And there's more. If somebody thrusts at your body, you can block it with the lower blade. If someone tries to cut low or side, you can block it with the lower blade. Even if they try to cut diagonally, you can still block that way. Or even vertically. Even this way, although this one, for that, we have this. Low, side. So yeah, we're seeing much more blocks with this. And now, by themselves, hang on. No way. Oh, 11 minutes already? By themselves, attacks and blocks are one thing, but what about counters? You parry, attack. You parry and cut. Parry and cut. You get parry, thrust. You get parry, thrust. I don't see how you can parry and cut without the opponent doing something first. Parry, thrust maybe. Parry, thrust. Maybe. Parry and thrust, okay? Like block, that's what I mean. Block and thrust. Block and thrust. Block, thrust. Parry, block, let it slide and cut. And same with the other side. Alright. This. And alright. What about this? What are its counters? First of all, you can do most of the same counters that you did with that. You parry and you cut. You can parry and go in with a cut. Parry and thrust. Parry and go in with a cut. Same. Parry, thrust. Block, block. Thrust maybe. Block, thrust maybe. Block, maybe thrust, or use it to side and cut. And same from the other side. You can do all of them with this. But what else you can do is, if somebody thrusts at your belly, you parry with the lower blade, and then you bring it around and cut with the high blade. And you see the edge alignment. So it's like parry, cut. Same. Parry, cut. Block, cut. Block, cut. Block, cut. Or parry and cut. There maybe it gets a little bit. You can do the same with that. I mean, you can do the same with this as you can do with that and more. I just proved. And yeah, the other side too. Block, cut. Block, cut. Or block and thrust. I just proved that this stuff is effective. How much time? How much time? 1 minute. Barely. So, here's the question. If it is so effective, why is it not historical? Honestly, I don't know. At first I thought maybe it was too expensive, too hard to make. But it was just as expensive and hard to make as two swords. Maybe it was too heavy, but there were heavier weapons. And with such a good grip, the weight is well distributed. It doesn't get in the way. Why is... Maybe it was too hard to carry, but with two sheaths it's just as easy. You can also be used as a spear. Why is it not historical? I mean, here's the fact. It's effective. Why is it not historical? I don't know. I don't understand. But just because I don't know or I don't understand doesn't mean that it's not true. It's like God. Well, that's all the time we have. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.